Hi, I'm Brandon with the Salt and Light Realty, and I've had my real estate license since 2020 in Missouri and here in Guam now. And before that, I worked for a real estate investment company for 8 years. Choosing the right agent for a successful transaction is very important for lots of reasons. There's a lot of moving parts and pieces during the contract, escrow phase, negotiations, and you need to have someone that knows what they're doing in every step of the way. There's a lot of value in choosing an agent with local experience in the local market. If they don't have experience in this local market and know all of the ins and outs of what's going on with prices or with negotiations, with offers, with concessions, all those types of things, you could be leaving money on the table, or you could be losing deals and your offer not being accepted because your agent didn't know what to offer or what to ask, so on and so forth. So it's important that you select an agent that specializes in the type of property that you're trying to purchase. If you're looking for commercial, you want someone who has experience in what to look for and what to help you identify as potential issues, and how to negotiate that offer successfully. There are lots of benefits to choosing an agent who has a proven track record. And when you're trying to figure out which agent to represent you, you should ask for their track record. How many transactions have they closed? What either total amount of transactions or what amount of transactions? What's their volume? How many transactions they're currently working on? Those are all good questions you can ask when interviewing an agent. Clear and open communication is probably the most essential part between client and agent relationships. You have to be able to clearly communicate with your agent, and you have to be able to clearly understand your agent. So you need an agent who is accessible and responsive. If your agent isn't wanting to work on the weekends, but that's the only time you have to see a house, that relationship's just not going to work out. And so you need to know when they're available, and you need to be able to get a hold of them at any time when you have a question and you need clarification on any issue that you might have or need understanding on. Yeah, it's important to have an agent who knows neighborhood specifics, because if there's a new development coming in, maybe those new houses are going to be $600,000 and $700,000 or $1 million. It could potentially affect the value of your property, or just knowing what things sell for in a particular neighborhood could really help get the right evaluation, a right opinion of value on what to list your house for, or how much you should pay or offer for a house that you're trying to purchase. Having a skilled negotiator on your team or as your agent is vital. I personally have won so many deals or contracts because of knowing what questions to ask. I've had several transactions that we won even though we weren't the highest dollar offer, because I knew what to ask for, and I knew there may be other things that are important to a seller or a buyer. And so knowing different things to do or different ways to negotiate, it's not always just about price. And so you need to have an agent who understands all the nuances of a transaction and can try to negotiate maybe other things that aren't necessarily dollars into the transaction to help you be more attractive in your offer. It's important to choose an agent that has integrity and is going to explain things to you that you need to know, that you need to be aware of with, again, the largest transaction you may ever make. Because if they're hiding things from you, or they're not being transparent about types or things in your offer, or even in your financing, if no one's explaining things to you, you could make some costly mistakes. And you don't want an agent who's just trying to earn a commission and just trying to get the transaction closed as fast as possible to make a buck. You need someone who's really advocating for you and helping you make the best decision possible. If you're evaluating an agent and whether they're a good fit for you, I'd encourage you to ask if they have testimonials. You can certainly ask for referrals or references or testimony videos, even if it's just a written thank you or testimony, your agent should be able to provide that for you. It's really important that you find an agent who will offer personalized, tailored experience for you as a buyer or a seller that fit your needs. Maybe you have a specific time frame that you can only see houses or you can only show houses. That agent needs to be available. Or maybe there's a language. Maybe English isn't your primary language and you would prefer an agent that speaks your primary language. That's vital. You need to understand all details of the transaction, so you need someone who can clearly communicate. You also need someone who fully understands all of your needs, especially if you're a buyer, what you're looking for. If you have a child who's disabled and you need a certain feature in a house, you need to make sure that your agent understands and can personalize a search or personalize their recommendations or personalize your experience for you. It's really important to pick an agent who has a lot of professional connections. One of the most advantageous is an agent who has good connections with a strong lending network, lenders if you're using financing to purchase. Also connections with inspectors, connections with appraisers, all of that is vital to the transaction. They're all very important key pieces of a transaction, and you need an agent who's well connected and can get you the right resources when you need them. Now more than ever, it's important that you choose an agent. Don't just go with the first one you call or the first one that returns your call or the first one that answers or even a family member or someone a friend recommends. Make sure you really ask questions, interview them. You're hiring this person to be in charge of the largest transaction you may ever make. It's a big deal. So take your time finding the right agent that's the right fit for you. It may be someone you don't know, but if you feel a connection or you feel like they're communicating clearly, you feel confident with them, the transaction is going to be a lot better experience for you than someone who's not the right fit. I want to invite you to reach out to us here at the Salt and Light Realty. We have a lot of great realtors, a lot of great experience, a lot of great people to work with. So if you're looking for an agent or you want to interview some agents, I highly recommend you reach out to us and find one of us that might be a good fit for you.